want the fans to have their seat. We want to score goals. We want to get momentum on our side. And then on the flip side is when we don't have the ball, we got to be dogs.
And we're live. There we go. We are live, everyone. Welcome tonight to the Afterburn Soccer Show, which is getting the link posted over on X, wherever you're joining us from. Excited to have you with us tonight. Keep tweaking the show as you see a little bit new layout, a new look, a little flash. But that's because partly we're in a good mood. And it's not preseason anymore because FC Dallas opened their 2026 campaign with a home victory. And those home victories, last season, we didn't have enough of them. So what a way to start the season. 2 goals from Petar Musa, a goal and assist from Logan Farrington. Not perfect. FC Dallas gave up 2 goals. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but quite a start to 2026. A lot to be excited about, a lot to look forward to, a lot to chew on as this team moves forward. Of course, I'm your host, Nathan. You can follow me at Afterburn Soccer. With me down below is our good buddy Jose at El Chico Carmona.
What's up?
On the far end, we have our buddy Colin Couve, not on the clock tonight. Follow him at Mr. Couve, and Chris Winters, who was there at the game at C Winters, going to give us some insight, and of course a dear friend of the show, fellow fan, special guest tonight, our buddy Luis at LuisDollar09. You can follow him there. We want your comments, your questions. We want your hot takes on what you liked about this performance from FC Dallas. We're excited. We're excited to get into it. So let's just start really at the top of the show here with reactions, game reactions of this victory. FC Dallas 3-2 over Toronto FC. We'll just kind of round robin it. Colin, you were there at the match.
Yes, sir.
What'd you see from the stands?
Man, it felt good to be back, and it seemed like a lot of people in and out supporter section it felt like they were feeling good to be back as well. For me, like I've been involved with the obviously the shoot, getting to see Austin again. That was the first time we saw each other in 3 months. Getting to see a bunch of the guys from EM like Ben and Luke and all them that they support the show and listen and watch and everything. Get to see them in person again was really nice. Just you get to see that all around the stadium, walking around, like people just on the concourse just running into each other again, be like, "Hey man, what's up? I haven't seen you since these couple months ago." My parents are getting used to people, getting to meet people that sit in the seats behind them for season tickets. So it's just a big homecoming almost of like, "Hey, we haven't seen you in 3 months. Let's get ready for another 9 months worth of soccer here and get locked in and ready." And the stadium, man, the overhang, the new east side overhang, you can see it on the broadcast. The lighting is incredible. Way better lighting. You can actually tell where players are going and where shadows look like. It's actually crazy. The stadium atmosphere, even like the new PA system they have, the new microphones they have, new audio system that they're rolling out. I mean, it's a whole different vibe. It's a whole different little group we got going on now at the stadium. And if that's just from just an overhang, no new seats put in, no new, quote unquote winter club, possible stadium or supporter group expansion to the north side, hint. coming in 28, it's only going to get better from here. And the fact that Dallas is able to also capitalize and take a win to capitalize off those emotions just makes it all better and all the more worthwhile.
Nice, nice, nice. Luis, what was your take? Kind of the atmosphere of opening day.
Yeah, I think a lot of what Colin said. Obviously, tuning into the broadcast was a lot different. Love those new lights. It looks so much better on Apple TV than it did last season and just previous seasons. So, in terms of the game itself, it was kind of similar to a lot of what we saw at the back end of last season. We're scoring a lot of goals, but we're also conceding a lot of goals as well. It'll make for a fun season. I guess we'll get into some of the shortcomings of the defense here in the podcast, but overall, good win. This Toronto side, not expecting much of them this season. But last season, we struggled at home against teams we were supposed to be beating. So a step in the right direction. And Petar Musa, I'm telling you right now, I think he can really, if he keeps playing like this and, fingers crossed stays healthy, I think we'll have an all-time record for goals scored in a single season. He is tremendous. And that's, of course, saying that we do keep him and he's not overseas with a
Yeah.
bid of 20 plus million. But overall, good win. It's good to win the first one. And wins like these against teams you should be beating at home are really important once you get towards the latter half of the season. So good win.
Yeah, yeah. Jose, your thoughts?
I've been complaining for years, at least for the last two managers, that every start of the season, Dallas looks like it's still in preseason shape. They look like they're catching up to the rest of the league. They look slow. So not just last season, but like every season for like the last 3-4 seasons, FC Dallas has started the season slow. Maybe injuries, people being out of shape, you name it. That's not what we got this year. This year, the team looks just right. Yes, it's not yet ready to have every starter go 90 minutes, but it looked pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the result. I was happy. I picked them to win 3-0. Uh, Mainly to do with Toronto, like I said, not being a team yet. They've got parts still coming in. That team's not gelled, and you should beat a team like that. So I'm very happy with the result. I think yes, there were mistakes, but they're fixable mistakes. So I'm looking forward to see this team get the season going. Off to a good start. Great to see the pairing of Farrington and Musa get off to a great start. So I'm elated, just like everybody else.
Chris, what was your vantage from the press box?
Yeah, I think kind of echoing what a lot of people have been saying, it was just good to be back and it was good to have soccer going on and just being a part of it was a lot of fun. The team as a whole was, I feel like, pleasantly surprising. Like I knew they had some chemistry, but it feels like for the most part, they just needed to kind of get some of the rust, knocked off a little bit for the regular season. I liked some of the play from our new signing, Johansson. I think there obviously was some moments back and forth, but I think overall it was good to see him kind of start ramping up his form a little bit. But yeah, I'm excited. Someone had mentioned wanting to see more Sam Sarver. I kind of am always on that train as being a North Texas guy. So would love to see, as the season progresses, getting some of the kids thrown in there. But yeah, I'm just glad soccer's back.
Yeah, I think the thing that was nice about this game was that really for the past couple of seasons, at the beginning of the season, we've seen this team sort of still trying to figure itself out, working in new pieces. But this really did feel like they were picking up from last year, and we saw the intensity. We saw that this team's going to fight. They're going to claw. They're not going to give up. And I love that we got 3 goals. Our XG wasn't, maybe as high as expected. But that's okay. You take chances. You take the chances that come. And I love to have our guys be kind of lethal. I mean, Colin, my thing is we know Musa's going to be good, but Logan only scored 5 goals last season, right? I mean, that's not really, you want more from your second striker. But if he gets a goal already in the opening game, I mean, he's going to beat that. He's going to have a really strong season. And that bodes well for whatever he and Musa can do together. So, do you concur with Luis here that Musa's going to break some records, and could Logan get to that double digits like he wants?
I mean, I 100% think he can. I mean, you look at what Logan Farrington brings to the table the second half of the season. We got to think, yes, he had 5 goals all of last season, but how many of those games did he really play? Because this is the team that started off in a 4-2-3-1 last season. This is the same team that rolled out, I think it was Logan on the wing one game, Bernie on the wing one game, and then someone else on the wing the other game. So it's one of those things where Logan was playing out of position just to get minutes last year up until the 2-striker formation. And even then, at first, it was Musa and Julio, not Musa and Farrington. So it's one of those things where Farrington wasn't necessarily starting a lot of games last season. He wasn't starting. He wasn't like really getting a lot of playing time like he did to the back quarter, I would say, or back like third of the season last year. But I concur with Luis's analysis there, where like Musa, if he stays the whole season, he's a serious contender for the 20+ goal mark, being up there for Golden Boot. He was last year. I think he was 5th in the Golden Boot race or 6th, really, and that's with him. What was it, 12 in the last 14 games or something like that last season? So the fact that this team, it's one of those that's going to score on the counter. We saw how effective it was, and MLS is one of those teams where the defense, like, you play possession really well, but you can get countered so easily, whether that's a tactical or level of play. You could make that argument every day of the week. But it's one of those things that teams like Quills and a couple other successful teams in MLS, they hit you on the counter really well, like Philly and Cincy, to where the counterattacking football is still a thing in MLS, and something where if you have 2 strikers that one of them can just beat you in the air and play make really well, like Musa and Farrington both. I mean, Musa, leaping in the air to win that header off a really good cross from Farrington. Then Farrington sitting down Walker Zimmerman for his goal was really, really funny to see. And him to bury that and seeing Zimmerman slide away on that block attempt is just one of those things where if we can keep that up and keep them healthy, and then have possibly Valiente playing underneath to provide them with more in-behind passes to where Musa doesn't have to drop back and provide as much, it's only going to make this team a lot just disgusting to play against, honestly, because there's not many MLS defenders that can keep up with Musa, let alone even someone like Farrington's quality as well.
Appreciate all the comments, everybody. Love for Sarver from Pokey Jeff and buddy Caesar. There, can Collodi catch a cross, which is kind of the next topic, is if there's a downside to this performance, and I think it's being harsh on Collodi. I mean, I think the both goals he had a lot of pressure put on him and his teammates, especially the first goal. He was almost abandoned, with just guys getting stretched out, the turnover, the leading to the fast break. It's just a tough one, but to give up 2 goals, not what you want to do at home. I mean, we were almost for a minute there looking at a 2-2 draw. Not the end of the world when you start a season, but we need these home points. We don't want to see what this team did last year, which was give up points at home. So defense really is those defensive miscues. We feeling nervous about that, Luis? We feeling nervous about the defensive performance to start this one off?
Yeah, like I said in my opening statement, it really echoed a lot of what we saw at the end of last season. There's been a lot of talk in the community over the offseason of our lack of center back signings. I think, we saw that play out in this game. I thought Shaq Moore had a couple of very interesting defensive plays that I think won the first goal. He looked a little out of sorts there on that ball. But overall, I mean, I think one thing that's going to be really important for this team is, some of those midfield giveaways, especially on the first goal. I think Johansson, just a misplayed ball, and that leads to a transition where Shaq Moore's out of position and he's flailing around and the ball ends up in the back of your net. So defense is going to be an issue with this team. I think every FC Dallas fan would like 1 or 2 more defensive signings in the offseason, but hopefully that gets addressed in the summer. I think this team's waiting for the summer to address, obviously, that open DP spot, as well as Um, hopefully another center back. But yeah, curious to get your guys' thoughts. I still think defensively it's a liability, but even with conceding 2 goals, I mean, Osase had a tremendous game again. He's like easily my favorite player at the moment, just the way that he plays and his bursting runs from center back into the attack has been fun to watch, of course, over the past season. But yeah, overall, a bit worried about the defense, and hopefully that gets addressed in the summer window.
Jose, what's your response?
Um, well, the back line. I mean, you it's a rough start right now, and you could say it's a preseason start. You know, it's they still got to gel. I would hope that they were further ahead. Urugide is being Urugide, but it's also getting used to Kamungo and Johansson who are going to be pushing forward. In all honesty, and so they're more offensive minded than defensive minded. I get that Johansson is considered a two-way player, but I mean that guy covered a ton of space out there for a guy who's not ready to go 90 minutes. But yes, there's concerns with the back line. I have faith that they'll figure it out. Um, there's players in the wings that can come in and step in like Nolan and I think they'll figure it out. We're gonna find out just
Yeah,
how
pretty
good
quickly.
this how much danger this defense is in next week because the defense can't afford the mistakes that they did this week going into next week.
I mean, Steve Davis on the FC Dallas agenda was talking about this having a run of home games to start the season, where if FC Dallas gets going well, it can pad up a little bit their standings, but there's not any gimmies these next 3 games. I mean, Nashville, then away to LAFC, and we saw how good LAFC was against Inter Miami. Like I don't know that defense is. They're going to need this tune-up this weekend to see what they can do, and then welcome San Diego, and San Diego is picking up right where they left off last year. So yeah, this defense is going to get tested. Yeah, so Nashville, then LAFC in 2 weeks, and then San Diego 3. So yeah, baptism by fire. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot to learn. I mean, if I was disappointed about the defense, though, I was hoping to see Nolan get a start. I just want to see him get an extended run. But maybe he's not there yet. I don't know. I don't see what the coaches see, behind closed doors. And
It could also be that because it's the opening match, you wanted some veteran players out there to begin with. Um, so that could just be it. Just playing it safe.
mhm. Any other thoughts about the defense, Chris? You worried?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, I think one thing that sometimes gets lost is like Shaq Moore spent the entirety of last season out as like a right back and then is now getting shifted over to play left center back. And that's just like two completely different styles of play. And so I don't know. I think it's going to be something that over time is going to eventually mold into a point where like I think he'll get more comfortable. I don't know. I think the one kind of disheartening thing is like obviously everyone loves Nolan Norris, but to have him kind of be behind, from what it seems like, Shaq Moore, and then to give a guy like Shaq the captain ban, like I don't know, that it indicates like okay, they put a lot of stock into Shaq Moore, who they also paid a decent amount of money to get. So that means it's like okay, so then who backups Ibiaga on the right center back? Is that Abubakar? Maybe Alvaro. I don't know. I don't love the depth that we have, and so kind of like what Luis is saying, would love to see them go out and address um, just another center back, just somewhere on the back line. Because if we have one guy go down, I mean, it's gonna be bad. Like and as obviously no disrespect to the players, but man, it'll be rough.
Colin, you want to add anything? You nervous about Nashville coming to town?
I think it's definitely going to be a lot more of a test than Toronto. I mean, they only got better with adding Espinoza. They also added their young wow. Of course, forget his name. I think he's from Panama or Costa Rica, one of the two. But he's a really good young player. They have really good midfield with Mukhtar and Tagseth, and their defense is a little bit Their defense is a little bit meh with Schwartz in goal. It's one of those where we can definitely take advantage on the attack, but yes, I think if anything, it'll be another shootout style game against like Toronto, where it's just going to be offensive firing. So yeah, the defense is definitely something to worry about for me. I do like having Shaq and Bernie overlap because Bernie's offensive contributions this game were fantastic, which, as you know me as a Bernie Kamungo denier on this podcast, I have to give him his flowers. He did really good in the attack, but also had that horrible giveaway that almost cost it a goal. But seeing him and Shaq overlap each other on the wing there has been really nice to see. It's something Nolan can do. He did that last year at the left center back spot. So once we can get Nolan there, move Shaq back to the right, I think this defense is going to look better and a lot better in transition. Because we also have Ramiro, who is playing deeper, that can slide into a, like Jose mentioned last week. I'm going to give him his flowers there too. Romero dropping back into that center back role a little bit, playing deeper on that back line, to where he can play center back or play one of those wide center back roles. So the team is set up with the vision that Kroll has to be very successful in this league. And it's something that, yes, the defense is definitely rocky now, but I also saw a way better defensive positioning than last year as a defender myself and defender coach for a couple of years. Like, I see a lot better positioning on the defensive back line. I see players not getting dragged out of position. Like, Johansson was told to stay wide. He stayed super wide, never came in. Ibiaga was quick with the ball, able to actually make good, consistent passing. Uriguete going forward, I mean, he did. Ramiro dropped back and center backs dropped in. I mean, the defensive rotations are a heck of a lot better than last year. So while we did make major mistakes leading to goals, such as Johansson turnover, Shaq Moore missed tackle on the first, and then the second goal, just a Colodi spill. I mean, we're a spill and then one bad giveaway from being a 3-0 game. It's one of those things where, yes, the defense wasn't great, but whenever we had backs into the wall final 15 minutes and had to defend, we did really well, in my opinion. A couple moments where it looked like we were going to bending really hard, but no breaking. So I'm worried for now, but once we get Nolan Norris in there, and which from what I'm hearing will be a little bit of time, but we'll go from there and see how the defense looks when that happens.
Good. Matthew Corcoran and Brian Acosta will be back in town. Go get him some Whataburger. All right.
I just want to add to that I'm kind of sad that the bad pass by Kamungo really overshadowed what had been a very solid defensive game for him. I mean, he led the team in tackles, he led the team in interceptions, and but all everyone's gonna remember that bad pass, rightfully so. But it also, for me, seeing Kamungo play the way he played, once if he can just uh, eliminate the occasional mistake, you see where Kamungo is going to be. Looks like he's going to be a legit left wing back for this squad. Which I can say honestly that I wasn't convinced last year. I saw that he was playing there, and now I'm starting to get the sense that he has made that full transition there. Uh, so yeah, I'm disappointed with the pass, but overall I thought he was solid on defense.
Well, that's the next little topic I had here. Just we had two debuts and sort of a third. I mean, and I appreciate our buddy Pokey Jeff there, mentioning Dietzen, because it's not like we saw Dietzen a lot last season. He came in and just a handful of minutes, and so for him to get a number of minutes last night was kind of like seeing him for the first time. And yeah, there was some good, some not so good. I think some critiques there, but this is a guy who's still kind of working his way into the team. But other two, of course, we've been talking about Johansson making his debut. We think we saw some potential of what he can bring. We also saw him meet kind of MLS intensity for the first time, and Ren Benjamin getting just a minute there at the end, but still making his debut. We might see more of him, of course, like rotationally and stuff. I mean, I was mixed results about Herman Johansson, but of course I was vibing with the night and the stress of the night and enjoying it. I'm excited to see how he can just continue to develop. Quill spoke about him after the game, just that it's going to take some time to for him just to get up to speed, and pointed out that he was up against Richie Larea, who's a good player. So it was a tough job on his debut. But any thoughts about either of these guys? I mean, we didn't get a ton of minutes with Rand, but hey, 2 debuts. It's nice to see these guys make their first appearances for FC Dallas. Yeah.
Yeah, I was, I want to add that Deedson. I know a lot of us would rather have seen Server come in, but I was pleasantly surprised that when they brought him out, I thought he looked pretty good. I'm kind of surprised that he wasn't targeted because I mean we all know he can go forward, but I think we have that concern as to can he even play defensively in that position. We have no clue uh, as he is transitioning. So I think it's kind of clever for the team to have brought him in, gotten some minutes. He needs to get comfortable in that position, and frankly, if he's gonna if they're gonna make him Johansson's backup, I frankly don't have an issue with that.
Good. Let's jump over real quick. Let's listen to Petar Musa after the game. His comments about the performance.
I'm very happy about the performance tonight. We put effort from the first minute, and yeah, we won the first game, and I'm very happy about team effort.
You got 2 goals. You kind of picked up right where you started last season. What helped you get those goals, and how are you focusing going forward?
Yes, I'm very happy about 2 goals, but it's most important for 3 points. This is the reward from the whole team. Logan played an amazing game up front with me. I think we had a good game, but this is because of whole team. They help us in every situation, especially when we defend. And yeah, I'm very happy about performance.
You mentioned.
Yeah, a good little flavor with him, Petar. He went on to talk about Logan, how close they are, which is a nice thing, for these guys. They're not just teammates, but they might be friends and work closely together. And I imagine that's only going to help Logan grow as a striker. Good stuff overall. I mean, let's go ahead and talk about what's coming up for Nashville. We've already started touching upon that. Nashville's a stacked team. They look good this year. Let's do some match predictions. This one's a little trickier. We all went like 3-0 and stuff last week. I don't know if I feel that confident, but I'm going to go 2-1. I think it's another home victory. I think it's another hard-fought match. And I think FC Dallas, behind Musa and Farrington, each getting a goal, claw their way into another big 3 points. But I do think we see defensive improvements. Stronger Collodi performance. Again, not trying to be harsh on him or anything. I just think, though, we see some improvements despite Nashville looking like a really good team.
Sure, my prediction is actually a repeat, a 3-2 win.
Okay.
It's going to be hairy though. It's going to be close, and that goal is going to come late. We will be, we'll be sitting there, chewing our nails. I think it's going to be a very tight match. There is a very real possibility that this is a draw, but I have faith that the team will pull out a 3-2 win.
All right, nice. Chris, you go.
Yeah, no, I had it listed down as a 2-2 draw. I think, it's been mentioned before that this is going to be kind of a good litmus test for, what this team is going to look like. Obviously, it's still early in the season, but I think, Musa and Farrington are just too good right now offensively. I think defensively will be better, but I still see us giving up a couple goals against Nashville, who's just red hot offensively. So I'm going 2-2.
All right, Colin.
Am I the down that's going to predict the loss here?
Oh, no.
I'm going to go 2-2 draw with Chris, leaning towards a 3-2 loss, but I'm going to go 2-2 draw. I'm going to go with the good old excuse of they have Champions League tomorrow. So they're going to obviously be playing a few of their depth pieces, which they're up 2-0. They're playing at home against Atletico Ottawa. So it's like not a huge game for them to really go out there and strut out. I mean, but this also is a team that they were playing none of their DPs, and subbed them all in the 63rd minute, and then instantly scored in 66th, and then 90th +5 when Mukhtar and Surge and all of them got on the field. So it's one of those things where they're up 2-0. As long as you don't concede, they're fine. They'll probably play a bunch of the backups and the kids like they did the first time. But that doesn't mean they're going to have extra minutes in a preseason. Preseason form, not fully fitness, and obviously it's a full week to train and get back and fit and ready for Saturday. So I'm gonna go 2-2 draw. I think it's just gonna be scrappy. It's gonna be one of those where Dallas realizes, oh crap, Nashville actually isn't the team they played last time they played them, which was just a Mukhtar show, where they can just kind of man mark him and still get thrashed 3-1 on the road in Nashville. So it's one of those things, you're at home. You got more bodies to worry about, and I think it's just going to be a more hectic game like Toronto, both end to end, because Nashville doesn't like to play with possession now with them having the attacking options, and we don't either. So it's just going to be a very much a back and forth game of hot potatoes, what I like to call it, in the midfield. So we'll just see how that goes, and I think it'll be a 2-2 draw.
All right, Luis, how about you?
Yeah, not to copy what Chris and Colin said, but I think 2-2 is what I'm going to go for. I got to watch the majority of that Nashville Revs game. They were dominant, like Colin said, even without their big boys in until the last 30 minutes. They were really, really fun to watch. And yeah, this team's just leaking goals. Again, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I think just not liking what I'm seeing so far with the defensive organization. It's only one game, of course, but of course we did have the back half of last season to draw back on as well. And then on the offensive side of things, you just can't keep Musa and Logan off the score sheet, I think, this season. I mean, they're a dynamic duo. At the very top of the league, you struggle to find two players that can just create offense like they can. So I think 2-2 would be a good result. Again, like Colin was saying, they're playing Champions League football in between. So might be a little bit of a let-off. So that's why I'm not really picking a loss here. But yeah, I think 2-2 is a fair result, just given how good this Nashville side is. I think they improved a lot from last season as well. So we'll be pleasantly surprised if we win, but I think a draw is probably more likely.
All right, we got draws, we got a couple wins. I think it's fair. I think we could see disappointment. We just could. I mean, we could.
I think we all need to cheer for Ottawa to give them a tough match tomorrow, because that will force them to play their starters much more than they want to. Mm-hmm. And let's face it, at the end of the day, this is their fourth game, and the FC Dallas game will be their fourth game in just a 2-week stretch. I don't care how good of a team you are, coming off a preseason, that's a tough ask.
Well, as we close out the show, one last little thing. I mean, as you look around the rest of the league, results across the league, I mean, what is the worst overreaction right now in Major League Soccer? And I mean, I would say
Messi's washed.
Yeah, going hard on Inter Miami is gonna sneak. They got beat, but still, I don't think they're gonna struggle like that too much longer. Yeah.
No, mine's not really an overreaction, but I was just gonna say mine's not really an overreaction, but I watched that whole LAFC Inter Miami game. Just shout out to the atmosphere. I mean, 75,000 strong in LA. That was a really, really good showcase of our league. And to see Messi play in a stadium that big and not have, I mean, if you look at the crowd, it was like 95, 90-10 LAFC fans to Messi fans. So shout out to those guys over there, filling a stadium that much and having so little pink in the stands. It was really fun to see. Just for the growth of the league. I don't like LAFC, but just for the growth of the league, that was really fun to watch.
I just want to correct what he said. He meant 95% Son fans and 5% Messi fans.
Yeah. Hey, and shout out to our boy Tafari, who we can only imagine what he and Osaze would be doing together. And I think Tafari probably needed a little. Week. Yeah, probably needed a little growing to do. He probably needed to leave Frisco a little bit. You know, the things that happen and mature, because he didn't start last year right away. You know, he had to work his way into it. But good for him. He fits that team too.
Colin, your boy was playing really well, man. He looked really well on the big stage there.
I shot him a text and said, thank you for owning Messi a second time. Because we always, leaking DMs here, but we always joke that none of the goals when Messi came here were his fault, and he locked him up every time he came near him. So I said you got to keep the streak going, and he just sent back a peace sign and said lockdown with a capital L and a capital D.
That's awesome.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be an interesting season just with where teams are in transition. And we got a couple of, teams like Sporting Kansas City who barely have a roster and stuff. And, but it's going to be interesting to see it. But I think like the other surprise, probably overreaction a little bit, is probably Red Bulls. I mean, what they did to Orlando and playing some youngsters. I mean, and I think Michael Bradley's going to be all right. He's probably going to be a fine coach. But also
3 17-year-olds, right?
Yeah,
I think 3 17-year-olds started on the road in a win. It's pretty crazy.
2 17 and a 16-year-old.
But does that say more about Red
crazy.
Bull or does that more about Orlando?
A little bit of
Yeah.
both.
I think both.
Yeah, I think they'll come back to earth a bit. I mean, that's what it's Red Bulls, but kudos. I mean, yeah,
It took a lot of balls, and kudos to them. They took a gamble, and they reaped the rewards. I mean, if you're a fan of that team, you have to be excited. You can't help but be excited.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good. A nice tight show tonight. I mean, his first weekend. There's a lot to see. A lot of data going to be coming our way and stuff. And of course, excited. I'm going to do an interview with Jaden Contreras tomorrow, so be looking for that from North Texas as they are continuing to prepare for their incoming season. Getting to know some of the new faces there and returning faces. A lot to enjoy, a lot to look forward to, a lot to learn about this team. But guys, appreciate it coming on tonight, sharing your thoughts, your wisdom. Of course, folks, you can follow us at afterburn.soccer. Of course, follow us on X or Blue Sky or wherever it is that you do your social media stuff. And of course, we'll post the audio to this podcast a little bit later. And appreciate all the support. Until next time, guys. Good night.
Everyone.
Bye, everyone.